Okay, now I warn you, you're going to have to fasten your seatbelts for this next one. I think the band are going to have to fasten their seatbelts as well. We may be going over the speed limit.
I guess a lot of times when I was singing, whenever I would sing jazz, a lot of my peers, even audience members would sort of say, wow, you sound really great singing jazz. And eventually I sort of thought, oh, okay, I might explore this a little bit more. And I definitely found that whenever I sang jazz, I felt really at home. I felt like, yeah, this is where I'm meant to be. And there was a real sense of freedom and liberty to be able to express myself in a truer way when I sang jazz. I haven't really sort of looked at an artist and thought, I want to be just like you. But I think what singers tend to do, or certainly what I've done, is listening to lots of different singers. You might hear something that a particular singer does and you think, wow, I really like that. I love the way that Ella does that particular lick, or I love the way that Sarah Vaughan sings with this such attitude. And I think subconsciously what happens is when you perform, you draw upon all of those elements. You don't sort of think, right, I'm going to sound like Ella Fitzgerald right now. I think all of the different artists that you've listened to just come out in your performance when they're needed. When you need a little bit of that attitude, it'll come out. Or when you need to do a really fancy lick, it'll come out. But it'll still be you, influenced by some of those great artists. So I think that's kind of what's happened with me. When I'm performing, I have really, really high expectations. I think the audience deserve your very best. And so certainly every time that I go out, I endeavour to give everything I've got. It's a lot easier said than done, but I certainly try every single time that I perform just to give it my all. And I'm constantly refining and reviewing what I do, because obviously you want to improve, you want to grow as a performer. I definitely set very, very high expectations. Who do I like listening to? You know what, I just love music. I know that probably sounds a bit cliche, but I love listening to lots of different styles. So I'll listen to everything from classical to pop, opera, reggae, world music. I just love it all because I find I think as I said earlier, you kind of incorporate lots of different elements from the different types of music that you listen to. So I think it's healthy to listen to a wide range of music, and I love doing it. I love songwriting. It's interesting, like when I'm collaborating with someone else, I tend to still like to work in isolation. I like to work by myself. I mean, I know of one occasion I was actually in the studio with someone and they had already partly written a song. So they'd written the music, they'd written lyrics and a melody. And I remember kind of sitting in the same room and I'm just like, I can't really get my groove on, So I had to go to another room. And once I'm by myself, I can just completely focus and, I don't know, you draw from something. I can start writing a song any old way. I might perhaps get a melody, or I might get a lyric, or I might get a series of chords that I think are really cool. So it really depends. I don't sort of have a set way of writing a song. It just depends on the circumstances. But I will say, if a musician comes to me with some instrumental music, what I tend to like to do is listen to the music over and over and over again, and I guess let that music speak to me, because I feel like there's something in the music that if I can connect to, then I can put lyrics to it. So that's kind of my mindset when I'm listening to an instrumental piece that a musician might give me to put lyrics and melody to. I've had lots of enjoyable moments. I think one thing that I really, really love is whenever I have the opportunity to perform where there are children in the audience, because children, as you know, they're just so uninhibited and so free and just really connect with the music. They're so open to connecting to the music. And I actually remember one occasion I was singing as part of a massive, massive concert that was out at Sydney Olympic Park. It was put on by a great entertainment company called CC Entertainment for what was then called, I think it was Music by Moonlight or something, and there was something like 8,000 people in the audience. But the audience was made up of grandmas and grandpas and toddlers and mums and dads, so there was a huge generation, a huge gamut of ages in the audience, and I really loved looking out and just seeing, mums and dads singing and dancing with their children. And this particular occasion that I'm talking about was a concert that was paying homage to the music of the Beatles, and it was so cool just to see people singing and dancing and laughing, all ages. And I just kind of had a moment when I looked out into the audience. I just thought, wow, that's just beautiful. That's why we do what we do, because we want to see people free and enjoying themselves and connecting with one another across all ages. It's beautiful. So yeah, that was a pretty special moment.
The fire, passion starts to overflow.
Funny moments in performing. Well, I am really, really privileged to perform fairly regularly with an Australian jazz trumpeter called James Morrison, and there have been quite a few occasions, like if anyone has ever seen him perform, he is naturally very comical and very, very entertaining. And even as someone who's in the band with him, I always laugh at his jokes. Doesn't matter how many times I may have heard a particular story. But anyway, there are a lot of occasions when maybe he'll be doing a really moving introduction, or he would have just finished a great solo and it's my turn to come back in and sing. And it'll be something that he does. He might kind of put on a comical face, or he'll kind of do a phrase and just do it in such a way that makes me want to laugh. Not just me, but audience members as well. And I will just laugh and I won't be able to stop, and I won't be able to start singing, and he'll just kind of look at me and be like, anytime you're ready, you can come and sing. So I've had quite a few situations where that's happened, but it's cool. It makes for, I guess, an authentic night where people can see that you really are enjoying yourself, so yeah.
Hush, hush.
Regrets. I think there have been a handful of occasions where maybe I've taken on board a recording project, or I've agreed to do a performance where in hindsight I look back and I think, do you know what, I probably shouldn't have done that, either because stylistically it wasn't the best fit, and certainly probably a fault of my own. Maybe I've sung a song and it hasn't been the best key for my voice. So I've had a handful of occasions where that's happened, but fortunately those kind of things are few and far between these days. I'm a little bit more strict on what sort of work I'll accept to do, and what sort of recordings and things that I'll be involved in. So yeah. Something I'd really love to do that I've never done, well, I've done something that's close to but haven't actually really done it, is be a part of a musical. I know that might sound probably unusual, but I just think it'd be fun to be able to get into character and maintain energy night after night after night, and still make it exciting and interesting with every performance, and have that acting element as well. I think I'd really, really like to do that. I probably would like to be in a feature film as well, maybe, one day.
And it still is new.
Something people probably wouldn't know is I was a fruitarian for probably about 12 months. I'm one of these people that's really, really into health and nutrition, and I kind of went on this journey from being full carnivore to vegetarian to vegan, and then I decided I'd explore fruitarianism. So I did that for about a year, and I was pretty much bouncing off the walls all the time. I had so much energy. But something I've done that's a little bit unusual. I lost a lot of weight. People were kind of worried about me at the time. So I decided I probably should bring a little bit more balance into my diet. Yeah. Something all of my colleagues, and probably anyone who's ever seen me perform would know, is I love bling. I love bling a lot. Like, I'm obsessed. I can be in a shopping centre, and if out of my peripheral vision I see something that sparkles, I'll be like, so yeah, I'm obsessed.
Thank you. Well, now we're going to catch the plane and we'll go to Brazil. Brazil, do we have some Brazilians? Oh, hello. So for you, we're going to do this one for you.